Thanks so much for joining me. It's late Saturday night, week 2 college football. See me looking up here. I ain't got one of those eye floaters where you're like watching it, see where it goes, and then it cuts back up, and it cuts back across. And that. Got a TV up here. Right now, Georgia Southern looks like they're about to beat Nebraska. Lord, it's late. It's getting late. BYU's playing Baylor right now. So today has been a really weird day in college football. Now, I, for one, went to see Clemson and Furman. I know that's not like some amazing game, but it was the first home game of the season. Clemson unveiled their massive jumbo board they built up there. And, it was good to see that game. It was enjoyable. Me and Bobby Dirkens Jr. went. And saw Chase Henderson there with one of the Henderson sisters. Met his little girl, 3 years old. Beautiful, precious baby. Chase ain't the father, I can tell you that. If he is, he's pretty doggone good at lying to himself. That was like a little angel with pigtails, just as a little Clemson, the world's cutest Clemson fan. So I'm not for certain that in fact, I'm quite certain he can't be the father. No, I don't know. Love you, Chase. Good to see Chase and everybody. Clemson played an interesting game. They won like 35 to Bobby Jr. Was that 35 to 12? It's 35 to 12. You hear that? He called me sir. Raising them right, won't depart. Amen. 35 to 12. You can tell Clemson really didn't care about being there. The only thing in the game is, last year about this time, DJ would have been overthrowing people. And I'm going to have to say that he was not overthrowing people. In fact, he threw pretty much on the mark. Monday night, he threw a lot of really good passes. Didn't look comfortable then, but he looked a lot more comfortable now. Quite honestly, Furman, I'm impressed that they actually came out there and tried to give Clemson the game. I was more impressed with their offensive line than I was our offensive line. Saw more dropped balls by the Clemson wide receivers. When you get to this level of ball, this ain't for the faint of heart. Now, everybody can play this type of football. Passes at the local school up the road, little old school or something, their wide receivers can drop it, and you go, Don, that was a really hard pass. He just likes to play on this little thing. Now, you don't do that at Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State. You are treated like gods because they expect you to be a football god, all right? So if when you do one of those plays where you take off and run, you flip over somebody and land on your feet, touchdown, everybody's going crazy, and all the sorority girls is trying to toss you your phone number because they know that you're probably going to end up in the NFL. You'll be able to take care of them. I mean, sure, you look like a foot, but they love you because your personality. Okay, your bank account. But anyway, yeah, they're dropping passes. I got to fix that. But DJ looked pretty solid, even though it was against Furman. I'm telling you, last year he was overthrowing passes. I'll have to hand it to him. Hopefully he'll grow and versus La Tech and do better and such like that. So good job to them. They won, got out of there. I knew of no injuries. But do you really care to hear me talk about Furman and Clemson? Absolutely not. Heck, I don't even know why I wasted that much time on it. What happened at Notre Dame was a head scratcher. Did a little reaction video talking about it. But I mean, at what point do you step back and realize that your program is history? Notice I didn't say historic. Your program is history. And a lot of these players, they'll come out and they'll go to the NFL. They'll do really like Chase Claypool. He's a really good wide receiver. Big old honking sucker, too. And you got guys like, Zach Martin. And I mean, a lot of great players is coming. But the problem is, I just don't think Notre Dame cares about football like they used to. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about the school. Real quick, I want to say hey to a couple of people. Alex Isbell's in here. May there to you, Alex. He says he's watching from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, may there to you, Alex. Good to see you. But Notre Dame will not make a big hire. They will not go after a big dog for their school. You know, you look at Alabama. Alabama went after someone who had won a national championship within the past decade that they had coached. You look at Florida. You know, they tried Ron Zook after Steve Spurrier, but they went after Urban Meyer, who had been nothing but a winner everywhere he went. Yeah, they took a gamble on him, but it was a pretty good gamble. I mean, he made Utah look ridiculous. And I mean, you even have to look at Southern Cal recently hiring Lincoln Riley. I know that is not the equivalent of hiring like a Saban. But my point in all of this is he was a hot dog. You know, he needs to fix the defensive side of the ball, but the guy can coach. Everybody hold on one second. I'm going to see if Nebraska can hit this 52-yard field goal. Y'all forgive me. They're down 45-42 to Georgia Southern. He missed the field goal, and he missed it. Game's over. Georgia Southern goes to Nebraska, wins, and $100 says Scott Frost is fired. And here's the thing I'm going to say about that one. Who wants to go to Nebraska when your golden boy, who I think can actually coach, I think Scott Frost is actually a good coach. I just think that Nebraska is that much in the muck and mire of college football and an afterthought. And then you go in there and you got a bunch of people there who's like, you remember when we won all those games and stuff? Hey, Meredith, you remember? Go Big Red. Well, you hadn't won that in years. You hadn't been a good winner in many, many years. The last time you were relevant, Britney Spears was still hitting babies one more time. Do you understand that? That's how long ago. That's my point. Who wants to go there and coach? So if they go and they fire Scott Frost, what does that say to everybody? We believe we can do better. With who, Bubba? Who? Because this guy's worked his way up through the coaching ranks. People like him, that I understand. He comes there to your school. He's supposed to resurrect everything. Y'all, it's one thing. Listen to me. It is one thing to try to resurrect something that, you know, has kind of been down for a while. It's a whole other thing to try to resurrect a dinosaur. And that's what I think y'all are at this point. Don't get mad at old Frosty boy because he didn't come in there and fix y'all's mess. Good Lord. What a ridiculousness. But that just adds to some of the craziness. That's not the craziest thing that happened today. Or just ask what happened to Notre Dame. That's what I was talking about. Notre Dame will not go out and make the big hire They don't want to spend any money. They don't want to. They do not want to spend any money on a coach. Brian Kelly proved that. Brian Kelly was like, I'll leave and I'll go make a... But it was about just a national championship. It was about money. Notre Dame, for some reason, will not spend the flipping money. They won't. They will not. They have more money, almost said, than God, but that's kind of funny in itself. Anyway, but they don't want to spend a ton of money on bringing in a big name coach. They don't want to do it. A lot of other schools will try it. And I'm not saying Marcus Freeman is a bad coach. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, it's just like they're making mediocre hires. I don't know. And maybe Freeman's not a mediocre. I don't know. All I'm saying is, even when they hired, and I know I got some questions in here. Got some people I want to say maybe there to you. Alex says, "Boy, I'm glad you're liking my stuff there in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hope y'all are being good up there. If you ain't being good, be good at it." That's what Ole Bobby says. I mean, great point, RR. Think about Miami. The last good hire Miami had up till this point was Butch Davis in the late 90s. Don't you think about that? They hired him, and then Larry Coker did take over. And I know people don't like this, but Larry Coker, he might have taken Butch's talent, but he still won. Okay, so we'll kind of exclude that. It's kind of a bridge thing, It's kind of like they bridged off each other. But Larry won a national championship. Then Larry didn't start doing so good, and he was gone. Then after that, nothing made sense what they did. And it all sucked. And then they hired Cristobal. After almost 20 years of using their rectum to make hiring decisions, they did that. Okay? All right? I mean, that's just the truth. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. Auburn, Alabama. I want you to think how dirty it is. I'm about to talk about Appalachian State in just a second. I'm about to talk about that in just a second, Appalachian State. And I'm going to get to that because, to me, that's the most joyous. But you know me, when I get on a rant, I'm going to go with it. I don't know what these schools are thinking when they go in. They make these dumb hires. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm going to go ahead and hop in here and talk about Appalachian State. To me, the most glorious win in this very weird day is Appalachian State. Chase Bryce went out there to play quarterback. Now, I'm going to paint this for y'all. I want to make this really simple for you to understand. Last week, Appalachian State played the University of North Carolina. Both teams scored over 60 points. Okay? Over 60 flipping points. Right? And University of North Carolina was playing at upstate. They ended up beating upstate. It just went back and forth, okay? This itty-bitty school who just a few short years ago, I say a few, I know few technically means two for all the people out there who's like, well, you know, Cliff, I don't think he understands what two is. Yeah, good luck on getting a girlfriend. Not too long ago, Appalachian State was playing the FCS level. All right, they had a storied program, FCS, of course, big win against Michigan. We'll all remember that, and it was fun, and this, that, and the other. But even with that, and the good things that they have done with Satterfield and this guy right here, there was something about going to Texas A&M and seeing them win that game. Now, Lou Patton is someone who supports my channel, and Lou is good people. Lou is a big A&M fan, and for Lou, I hate it for Lou because of the Pointers team. He can't help who's coaching. So, Lou, this is not directed at you. With that said, for some reason my phone is giving me problems. I don't know what's going on. Uh-oh. Keep trying to call me. Are you there? Can everybody see me? Can you hear me? Thumbs up? Can you hear? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know what's happening. We'll see if we... Hopefully I can keep going and not have to start over. What I was going to say was, but that A&M lost that game at home to Appalachian State, coming off of a fresh home loss to an ACC team that I think is going to decently struggle this year. It's not going to be just terrible, but I am telling you right now, to see Appalachian State 0-1 go into one of the most hostile environments in college football, hands down. I mean, going to play at Texas A&M is a tall order. And they go in there and they beat them. Did you see the time of possession? Did you see that? Now, I mean, it was like 40 minutes to 20 minutes. And for you scholars out there, the game's 60 minutes long. So what that means is that they carry the 3 and the 1. They had the ball for a very long time. I mean, my Lord, double the time that Texas A&M. And I want you to think about this. Texas A&M has some of the finest players money can buy. Just ask them. Went out there and bought it. I'm just telling you. Or you said, where's Cliff? Who's Cliff? I don't know Cliff. Where's Cliff? What am I missing here? Did I have it straight? Am I in the alternate reality? While y'all are talking right now, and I'm trying to figure out who Cliff is, I'm going to say maybe there's a few people who snuck in here. We got Alex Isbell, Loggerhead TV. You're right, we look rough. Tiger Raven. Yes, Nebraska lost. R&R. Got Paul Warren in there. I was pulling for the Vols. Y'all know, if y'all know anything about me, you know I can't stand Pitt. It's a personal reason. Reuben Terry. Yeah, the Sun Belt looking pretty solid right now. Boll Weevil, one of my favorite names on here. Ridge Runner, may there to you. Yeah, how about them Mountaineers? All right. My imaginary friend, Cliff. How'd you find out about Cliff? Have you been stalking him? Are you using government capabilities to look inside my mind? Nobody knows about Cliff. Anyway, Chase Bryce, I believe, had he been our quarterback last year, we would not have lost that NC State game. We would not have lost against Pittsburgh. Now, of course, remember, if is one of the smallest words you can say, but it literally changes time. It's kind of like BC and AD. Uh, if would be beautiful in a lot of things. If I were 6'5", and if I were 255 pounds, and if I ran a 4.340, I'd probably be playing on Sundays. But I'm not, and we didn't. But I'm just saying that Chase Bryce was at Clemson when he got the extra year of eligibility. Can you imagine him running the show last year when things got tough? And he left because he saw DJ coming in and he felt like, hey, this is just, I see writing on the wall. And he left. I don't blame him. Can you imagine him playing against NC State? And dare I say, and I'll have to be careful about this because even though I like to pick at Georgia about stuff, the truth is Georgia is they won a national championship. But with that said, I mean, it was a pick six that gave them the only touchdown of the game. So, what else can you say? Listen, I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna try to restart this thing, see if I can get any better connection. Well, hold on, it just caught up. That's weird. I'm sorry, y'all, for this. This is really bizarre to me. I try to make it fast. Go ahead and talk. Y'all forgive me. Now, Chase Bryce is a legitimate quarterback. And is a legitimate player. And see them go in there and beat a team, one of the best teams that money can buy, makes me thrilling and happy. I just don't necessarily trust Jimbo Fisher. I don't. I mean, and look at that. Here goes. Look at that. Okay, he did win a national championship within the past 10 years, and A&M went out and opened their pocketbooks up. Notre Dame. I mean, why won't you at least try? I mean, because Appalachian State, congratulations to the little school up there from Boone, North Carolina. They did a great job. I was pulling for you. I'm glad that you did what you did. Quite honestly, I did not believe that you were going to do what you were going to do. I just saw you lose to North Carolina. I do believe in Chase Bryce. He's one of those guys when he walks out on the field. And this is one thing that you see a lot of when it comes down. When it gets to the higher levels of football, you got a lot of boys out there who has finesse. Okay? They have finesse and they have speed, but they don't have desire to win. Chase Bryce has desire to win. Deshaun Watson, I know he's going through a bunch of stuff and this and that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about desire to win. Deshaun Watson had a more desire to win than Trevor Lawrence did. And I know there's a bunch of you out there wetting yourself and going, you don't know what he's talking about. Ain't the first time somebody said that to me, but I'm telling you, you had to give me a college day Deshaun Watson or college day Trevor Lawrence. I take Watson all day long. And Chase Bryce is one of those guys too. He just wants to win. I tell you another quarterback, very impressed. It's from the Sun Belt Conference. Grayson McCall down at Coastal Carolina. I was down there last week, took Bobby Dirkens Jr. We went and saw them play. I know right now my camera's freezing up, but just hang with me. Hang with the audio at least. But Grayson McCall has a lot of want and fight in him. And that's something that you need at all positions, but especially at your quarterback position. If your quarterback position is just expecting to go out there and throw the ball around and, whatever happens, and, we're just going to play together as a team and oops, if I throw an interception, ain't no big deal. I don't want that guy on my team. That sounds like a loser to me. But when somebody comes out there and they have a lot of fight, they have a lot of, they'll throw the punches, they don't mind getting in the nitty-gritty, they'll sacrifice their body, they'll extend plays, they want to win on every play. They want to win on every play. That's my type of quarterback. So Chase Bryce is definitely one of them. Uh, Grayson McCall down at the Coastal is definitely one of them. I mean, these types of players are big deals. And you can see what they do and how they set things up. When you see a quarterback who gets out there and they'll go into the trenches with the big boys, and they might even get just hammered, and they pop right back up. I mean, imagine what that does to the psyche of like a big lineman. Can you imagine that? Somebody shoot that dog. We'll get a puppy. They're the cutest when they're a puppy. Somebody shoot that dog. I shoot cats for a living. Now after a while you become callous. Can you believe that the county passed on my proposal? That's a new word I learned when they had me fill out one. For a feline, which is a cat, but you got to put it in nice terms, technical terms. Feline electric chair. Can you believe they said no? I'm just trying to save the county money. It's ridiculous. But I think when they tried a prototype and the cat burst into flames almost kind of like a piece of charcoal with a bunch of lighter fluid on it, and it after those few women and that one guy cried, scared them. I just extinguished the cat. But, yeah. Anyway, listen, y'all. Big, crazy weekend in college football. Georgia even looked like they struggled against Samford. I know it was a 33-0 win, but you have to remember that they absolutely destroyed Oregon last week. I mean, they could have scored 70 points on Oregon. I said Oregon, not Oregon like play on the piano like I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about, like the Hearts in Oregon. I'm talking about Oregon. Blew them out of the water and then played Samford this week, and it was just like 33-0. No big deal. Today was a really, really weird day in college football. But hey, we'll do what we do. We enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's college football. It's back. Just want to remind everybody, whatever you do, don't check out Not Bobby Dirkens. That little doo-doo head is trying to play off my name, my good name that I've built. It's my Christian name. And he's trying to use it and go around, try to gain some notoriety. Try to fly around on my coattails and stuff. Don't blame him. I'm pretty awesome. So, anyway, I got a dog to give away right now. Anybody show up my door right now, I give this dog away to you. Now, whatever he does after I give him to you, it's between you and God. All right? I don't know, but you can have him. Sitting here watching the BYU game. I like one of their slogans. We're not a cult, really. So, yeah. Anyway. Well, listen, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. And also, I'll be sharing a link. If you don't see it on this one, you check it on another link. I started a new website where you can support the channel. You can even subscribe and all this bunch of stuff. It's a beautiful, glorious channel. Angelic. I think that if the Bible was written in this time, that website would have probably somehow made one of the pages. It's that wonderful. It's that majestic. Crisp. Sometimes I just like to say crisp and just let, that pop off the end of my mouth. Like Joy, taking a dive out into the world, jumping into the pool of life. Got very philosophical on you right there. All right, well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. I'll keep showing up. Bobby Dirkens.